Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Investing Bros Morning Show. It is Monday, September 23rd. And for the first time since she has been the nominee for the Democratic president, the Democrat, that and make sure I'm not missaying that, Congress has talked about cryptocurrency. Now, she didn't say crypto. She didn't say Bitcoin. She said the word digital asset, but it is the first time that we've ever heard her actually discuss blockchain technology. What did she say, and will it be favorable for the markets? This weekend, we got some, what I'm going to call firecrackers in price action. No fireworks, but some firecrackers. Could the bull run be about to take off? Or is this just one more fake out? We're going to talk about that and so much more in today's show. Make sure to go ahead and smash that like button, hit subscribe. But first, we got to roll the intro.
What's up, Tim?
What's up, T-Shroom? How was your weekend, my friend?
Oh, it was good. Had my mom come stay with Amanda and I. It was a good time. It was a good time. We went to the Kennedy Space Center, and we saw a lot. Man, okay. There's a lot I did not know. Still very, very large quantity of things that I still do not know about space travel, but it is very interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. How are you doing?
Very fun.
How was your weekend?
You know, it was good. It was restful. My Hokies broke my heart once again, but that's becoming a theme. You know what? That's how true fandom happens. If your team just always wins and you never embrace losing, are you really a fan? You know, you might just be a bandwagon guy. So you know what? It tested my fandom once again, but I'm holding strong. Got to spend some good time with the wife and the son. But more importantly, T-Shroom, how are you doing this morning after that great weekend you had?
I'm doing better than I deserve, Tim.
Good. Very good. That's what I want to hear. Everybody in chat, let us know how you guys are doing. How are you feeling about the markets this week? I put a tweet out over on X, but I'm interested to hear what you guys think as well. Make sure you're following myself, T-Shroom, and the Investing Bros account over on X. If you're watching, thank you so much for being here. But go ahead and post in chat. What are you planning on doing this week? Are you looking to buy? Are you looking to sell? Or are you waiting on the sideline to see what happens this week? There are some important details that go on, but first, let's go ahead and take a look at our bubbles this morning. As you might imagine, I said there were firecrackers. Well, we got a lot of bullish momentum here amongst the top 100. Look at all of these coins that are up close to, if not over 10%. The biggest one, Tau, BitTensor, continues to kind of take a nice lead here in this rally, up 15, almost 16%. PopCat, 10%, near almost 10%. IMX, 11.5%. Render, 9%. Graph, 8.7, a lot of others. I guess it would take me a little while to read through all of them, but a whole lot of green with a little bit of red mixed in. Before we go to the charts and we take a look at what the price action is looking like, I want to bring to your attention what will be happening this week you guys should be paying attention to. Now, I think T-Shroom's going to mention some of this, but if you go to my screen here, we did hear from Fred Bostic this morning, and later on this morning and this afternoon, we will hear from two more Fed speakers. But really, the week gets really good with information coming Thursday morning. On Thursday morning, we're going to be getting durable goods, quarter two GDP revisions. What that means is that they're going to go back and say, was our GDP numbers actually correct, or do we need to revise them? We'll also get initial jobless claims, and we will hear from so many Fed speakers, but of course, the most important one at 9:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Jerome Powell will speak. Now, is he only speaking for 5 minutes, seeing as that Fed Williams speaks at 9:25? I don't know, but it is always interesting to hear from Jerome Powell himself what is happening. But more importantly, Friday morning this week could be very, very interesting because we will be getting core PCE, and personal income and spending Friday morning. So definitely keep an eye on that. Of course, we just cut rates last week with 50 basis point cut. Will that be majorly bullish or bearish? What's going to come out in these economic numbers will have a major impact on the price of cryptocurrency. Before we keep going on, though, there's an article put this morning. I'm wondering if it's just a misprint, because the article says Bitcoin jumps to 65,600 as Japanese yen plummets. What's next? Now, I looked at my chart this morning. I saw the current price action. Obviously, it was like 63 something at the time. I don't remember the exact number it was. But then I read this article and I was like, wait, did we actually go above 65.6? If anyone else saw that article, you might be confused as well. We did not. Let's go take a look at my chart here, T-Shroom. We made it all the way to 64.7, depending on what exchange you're looking at, but they almost all are in that exact same spot, 64.7. We did not close any daily candle above 64,000. That was something I told you guys I want to see to get bullish again. We did rally above it, but we did not close above that daily candle. If you take a look at our liquidations as well, you'll see that we took out a lot of liquidity here. As high as 64,200, went a little bit higher, and there is liquidity up above us, meaning short positions that if we were to come up to 65,600, give or take, we could liquidate billions of shorts. But right now, keep your eyes focused to the downside. I'm watching this very, very, very bright level of liquidity on long positions back down towards 62,000. Keep your eyes on that level. This is literally, I know people hate. They absolutely hate when technical analysts say this, but this chart is very much saying right now we're sitting dab smack in the middle of these two. We could make a nice rally 5K and get rid of these liquidations, in which case I think there's a good chance that the bull run continues on after that point. But we also could make a move down here and clear up some liquidity down below us as well. Make sure to watch and wait to see what happens there. Some other big things happening on the daily chart with Bitcoin this morning. We did close yesterday above the daily smart trail that was red. We had been in a red smart trail play out ever since back here on August 4th. So this is a small victory for bulls. The problem, though, is that we're not necessarily mounting any rally today just yet. We have a smart trail that support all the way down as low as 55,000, but realistically, the top end right there, that's what I'm watching right now, 57,200. This is a level that we discussed last week that even with a minor pullback to Bitcoin price, this is a very real scenario. We're in a rising channel at the moment. You guys see our orange lines right here. This is a rising channel that's traditionally bearish, and the breakout for this would send price down to 57,000. So I'm not saying that that's 100% certain. What I'm saying is, as we're in a spot right now with could go up, could go down scenarios when it comes to liquidations, it's time to start looking at the chart and say, all right, based off the technicals, which is the more likely situation? And the formation at the moment we are playing in is a bearish one. We're continuing to watch this purple line here. If you go back to my screen, 65,000. Now, this line is a key level that we need to break above to set a higher high for the first time since all the way back in March of this year. All these lower highs have made up what we call a bear trend. If we can break and close above 65,000, close a daily candle or two, this would change that trajectory and we would be in a bull trend for the first time in months. Problem is, while we did get close, we haven't yet officially done that. And when you start coming to lower time frames, let's take a look here at the 4-hour chart where you can see we've been setting here a bull trend, higher highs, higher lows. We did just get a nice bearish divergence in play that a lot of traders are going to use to short the space. You can see here a higher high in our price action, but every single oscillator under the same timeline set a lower high. We did it on the Lux Algo oscillator, we did it on our MACD, and we did it here with our RSI. What does this mean in case you're not used to technical analysis? This is a way of showing weakness and a reversal coming. In this case, if we've been moving in bullish trajectory, higher highs and higher lows, but all of a sudden now our oscillators are getting weaker, this is showing the bulls are running out of steam and a reversal should be in play. So based off of what I'm seeing here, when I look at our liquidations and I see that we have room to the upside and room to the downside, but I take a look at our technical analysis, I look at our divergences, I look at the fact that we're in a bearish formation in play right now, this does give a little bit of an edge to a price action down here towards $57,000. Now, when we hit 57,000, let's just go ahead and put a line right there. We'll make this one let's go green. We're gonna go green with this one. Actually, that's a bad color. Let's go pink. Pink is a good one there. Purple above us, pink below. If we can hold this as support, then we're still solid. Obviously, we're going to have to watch how the markets are responding if we get to this level, what they look like. If we lose this level, though, ladies and gentlemen, there are some things below us to keep an eye on. What I'm watching, the next level after 57, believe it or not, it's a pretty big jump. It's down here to 51,000, where we have a major order block still in play. If that one cannot hold, now all of a sudden we're looking at the weekly chart and we're going all the way down to a major bullish breaker block. Now, this is a nice, strong level of support. I highly doubt we drop below this, but it is sitting down around $46,000, $47,000. I'm not guaranteeing we're going there. There's a lot of support between us and there. Again, 57 starts off, then 51. But if these levels do not hold, 47, 46,000 is back on the table. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just showing you what the charts are saying. We're here breaking down the news so that you understand what's happening. But all of this is definitely in play. But let's move into some potential positivity. As we mentioned in the intro, Kamala Harris, the Democratic nominee for president, she's the current vice president, finally, for the first time in months, after we've been hearing that she's been working with crypto companies, trying to change the look of her party with cryptocurrency, she's finally said something. T-Shroom, can you break down what she said, and let's get into what it actually means for the crypto markets?
Absolutely. Let's get into it. We're going to see some mature discourse here in the chat as well as we get through this story. Presidential candidate Kamala Harris says we will encourage innovative technologies like AI and digital assets. Benzinga's running with this headline. Kamala Harris's first public mention of cryptocurrencies on campaign trail sparks excitement among enthusiasts. This is progress. And progress is good, says a commentator. We'll get to that in a second. But right off the bat, Tim, what are you thinking about this sudden break of silence? She's coming out, not saying a lot at all, less than a sentence really, and lumping it in with AI. But what are your thoughts? Is this generally bullish or bearish?
Well, I'll be brief here, and then after you explain the rest of what's going on, I'll go a little bit deeper. The short side of this is people should understand this is bullish. And I know that some people who are maybe not wanting to vote for Kamala Harris are going to say she's lying, she's got this, that, and the other. You can believe or disbelieve whatever she says. At the end of the day, having two presidential candidates who, at least on the surface, are saying that they are pro-crypto is a positive thing that's going to make a lot of wealthy investors who have the largest role in Bitcoin price going up or down feel a little more confident about their holdings. Again, I'm not saying whether she's telling the truth or not. I'm just saying from a market standpoint, her being bullish on crypto or saying she's going to support it, whether she's telling the truth or not, in the short term is bullish. Then we have to wait till later to find out if it's actually the truth or was it just one big scam. But let's keep reading more about some of the breakdowns, because you're right. She did not say a lot whatsoever. There's more meat in what people talking about her statements say that could have bullish impact on the market.
All right, yeah, so we'll jump over to Anthony Scaramucci's tweet. He said Kamala means Bitcoin in every language. So kind of making it clear, because he's a maxi, he's saying, hey, when Kamala says crypto, she means Bitcoin. Does she?
Yeah.
Because that's not what she said. We'll see. Adam Cochran said progress moves slow, but it moves. There is your first formal statement directly from Harris that is reasonably pro-digital assets, providing that the naysayers who thought it not being in her platform was some evil plan had no idea what they were talking about. So there you go. That's someone kind of seeing this as very bullish. Had been waiting for it there, Adam Cochran. Let's keep moving here. Friar Shirzad said, this is an important and constructive statement from Harris. It's not nearly as forward-leaning as the concrete and visionary positions taken by Donald Trump, but it's still notable because she recognizes digital asset innovation as being important and on par. We can assume that the rest of this tweet says with AI. Keeping moving here. This is progress, and progress is good. That's what Benzinga ran with in their headline. This is from Jake C. But while protecting our customers and investors could mean a lot of things. Okay, yeah. So that was an additional quote there. Or that's what she said after she said she's supporting innovation in AI and digital assets. The anti-crypto army uses consumer protection as a smokescreen to conceal their attempts to destroy our industry. I, for one, want to see policy details. Let's pause there. Tim, do you want to see policy details, or are you content here with these statements from the candidate?
Yeah, I definitely want to see policy details. I'll tell you what, when I saw the article this morning, now that we've kind of broken into everything, this very clear a couple of things. First of all, Kamala Harris doesn't understand cryptocurrency, but let's not necessarily ding her too much for that, because if we're really being honest, Donald Trump does not know that much about cryptocurrency. I think he's learning. I think even since the Bitcoin conference, we've seen potentially some strides from Donald Trump himself trying to grasp and wrap his head around crypto. But let's just be honest and open about this. Neither president really understands just how great Bitcoin and cryptocurrency are for the future of the planet. That being said, they're both speaking about it positively. All I'm going to say here, and I'm going to try to be as fair as possible, a lot of people are going to say that this is Kamala just pandering to get some votes. Well, in the same breath, is that not potentially what Donald Trump is doing as well? Is it not possible that on an issue where neither one of them fully understands it, they're going to pander to get some votes because they want to win the presidency, but they also don't know enough about it to be anti, so they might surround themselves with people to actually help them be somewhat positive in the markets. There's been a lot of speculation that potentially Kamala Harris would bring in Gary Gensler, and we do not like Gary Gensler here. I think Gary Gensler, if that's true, that's going to be very bad for the crypto space, not for Bitcoin. What do I mean by that? Bitcoin really isn't crypto. Gary Gensler has kind of cleared Bitcoin, cleared Ethereum, cleared a couple other coins. Those ones are not going to have any problems. But when she says we have to continue to protect consumers and investors, but she wants to prioritize crypto, the only downside that I'm seeing in there is, all right, that's technically what Gary Gensler thinks as well. So is she saying things very vaguely on purpose so that she can bring in someone like Gary Gensler and promote Bitcoin, which, again, he's never been anti-Bitcoin, at least that I've seen. He's been anti-altcoins, anti-proof of stake as it is. The lack of policy, leaving this so vague, is the only negative thing about this. With that said, we don't know. I mean, we can fearmonger, we can speculate and try to make it as terrible as possible. The truth is, T-Shirt, we just don't know where she clearly stands, with the exception of probably Bitcoin. I think if you are a Bitcoin maxi, or if you have Bitcoin in your portfolio, this is a victory for you. Now, you might not want her to be president. Some of you might want her to be president. That's a completely different conversation. But the fact that we have two presidents who will more than likely allow Bitcoin to continue to thrive here in the United States is a good thing for the price of Bitcoin, no matter what. The rest of the crypto space, I'm not so certain. I'm not so certain that Kamala Harris would be good for crypto. But I'm open, as every human should be, I'm open and hopeful that I could be wrong on that, and she is a positive crypto space as well. And before we move on, some people are going to not like some of the things I just said right there. Why? Because I think there's a large amount of crypto investors who are heavily conservative who want Donald Trump to win. All I will say is, when it comes to cryptocurrency, I hope that everybody else is in agreement with me. We do not want crypto investing in general to be a partisan issue. We do not want crypto and the freedom of DeFi to be solely a Republican thing. Only Republicans like it. Democrats seem to be against it. Because what happens in our American political world is people don't know what they're talking about, even if they're elected to office. They just take whatever their party's stance on the issue is, and they fight for it. They have no idea what they're talking about. They'll just say, oh, I'm a Democrat, so Democrats believe in X. I'm saying X is good. Oh, I'm a Republican. We believe in Y. Y is good. We need cryptocurrency to not be an X or Y issue, not a Republican or Democrat issue. It needs to be bipartisan. So for anyone, I'm not saying people are rooting against it, but there should be hope. And there should be pushes to try to keep cryptocurrency as both a Republican and Democrat thing. We do not want it to be partisan. That would ruin it. That's one of the good things about crypto at the moment, is that you do not have to be a Republican or a Democrat to like it. You can be both.
Absolutely, Tim. And there's a little, let's read the full context here because look, this is, we've heard a lot from Donald Trump on crypto. We're finally getting the beginnings of a position here on crypto from the Harris camp. This is the full context. This is from Jennifer Epstein Twitter account. This is good. So let's read this. The full context. VP Harris first comments on crypto as a Democratic nominee. To build that opportunity economy, I will bring together labor, small business, founders and innovators, and major companies. We will partner together to invest in America's competitiveness, to invest in America's future. We will encourage innovative technologies like AI and digital assets while protecting consumers and investors. We will create a safe business environment with consistent and transparent rules of the road. When I hear that, it's like I can't get mad at anything in there, right? Maybe the protect consumers and investors, but I'm a consumer and an investor, right? So why wouldn't I want to be protected in some sense, right? If I'm just the average reader.
Well, so and I'll tell you this: there's a positive side.
There's nothing for me to get upset about there, but there's also nothing really hard-hitting for me to get excited about, right? She name drops digital assets and AI, right? So if I'm specifically invested in that, then that's why we're talking about it today, because there's a name there, but there's no tangible, there's nothing like what RFK wants to do, where to put the Bitcoin in the treasury, nothing that Donald Trump wants to do, like you taking all the Bitcoin that's already been confiscated and retaining that Bitcoin. It's just that she wants to encourage innovation. That's good. I'm not mad at encouraging innovation, but what does that mean?
Well, and what I wanted to point out there, teacher, that protecting innovators and investors, it's bad when you think of the things that Gary Gensler's done, right? And of course, there's a lot of speculation that Gary Gensler would be coming to become the Secretary of Treasury if she's elected. But remember that there's millions of people that lost millions, if not billions of dollars because of things like Celsius and FTX in the last bear market. So there's some people out there in the crypto space who saw that and said, thank you. Like, this wild, wild west of crypto investing has been ruining people. We need some strict regulation on exchanges. We need some strict regulation on how things happen. The problem is usually when you start to protect the people, quote unquote, it comes with so many restrictions that it becomes unfavorable for the average investor. Usually that helping ends up hurting. But I'm just talking about it in the sense of how will it be perceived by people and how will the markets respond? There are people out there that saw that phraseology that said, good, finally, now I feel more comfortable with my Bitcoin investment. That's what people need to walk away understanding. Not saying that she's the best crypto president, not saying this means that everything's awesome, but it should at least help build some confidence about Bitcoin holders' long-term objectives here in the United States.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really appreciate everybody keeping it cordial in the chat. Everybody, it looks like a lot of folks have opinions. That's great, but we're keeping it cordial. We're keeping it balanced. Keeping it. We're keeping it good. We're keeping it the standard that the bros expect for our community. We love to see it. Well, Tim, you mentioned kind of what's coming up, what we can anticipate here as investors. Fed Bostic speech has already happened. There was a takeaway from that, and it was a nudge at immigration, a mention. We don't hear the Fed talk too much about immigration, but Fed Bostic said this: higher supply has contributed to a rise in unemployment. This interpreted essentially means illegal aliens bring wages down, which is good. It's good for companies, I should say, and the shares that belong to those companies. But then same illegal aliens raise the unemployment, which is bad, right? It hurts the economy. So not too much to extrapolate there, but it is one of the first times that we've heard this contemporary Fed make a comment on unemployment, which if you've listened to a minute and a half of Donald Trump speaking this campaign, this cycle, that is one of the main things that they focus on. So could be continuation there in labor and unemployment being the main focus. It certainly is now for the Fed as they pivot away from trying to bring the inflation down. But yeah, any thoughts on that one there, Tim?
No, I mean, it's not too much different than even Jerome Powell at the FOMC meeting mentioned the open border and how that was a problem. It was diluting the job market. So it doesn't really add anything. But at the end of the day, we're going to have to continue to wait to see how this stuff plays out. There's still a lot of people, as we close up today's show, a lot of people continuing to be very optimistic that everything happening right now in our economy is still a soft landing, that the 50 basis point cut we had last week was a very bullish sign, and we're open to that being the case. I'm going to continue as we close out today's show. We will be live at 3 p.m. this afternoon to go into more depth on news and markets, so make sure to come back then. But I'm continuing to monitor the markets right now. There's still some stuff in the air that just doesn't sit right with me for an explosive bull market to start right now. The correction still feels like it's in the cards. How severe? We talked about that a little bit in the show. We'll talk about that more this afternoon. That's still up for debate. But for now, continue to monitor the markets. I want to make sure we are very clear with people. Do not sell your Bitcoin. Do not sell your crypto. Hodl on. The bull market, whether we correct first or start it right now, is still coming over the next year. Do not sell your crypto just yet. Look for opportunities and ways to add to it, though, if lower prices do end up coming. That is the stance of the bros. Yep. Make sure you guys check in with all of our content to stay up to date with everything going on. Got a Bitcoin price prediction update video for you coming out tomorrow morning. You don't want to miss it. It is beautiful. We edited this one. It's not just a one take. So look forward to that tomorrow morning. We'll see you guys this afternoon, though. Have a fantastic day. Love you guys. Adios.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shout it out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms news, catch a word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots that bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.